What's up everybody, Tiffany Outdoors here. Today we're going to build a new enclosure. This is going to be the final enclosure for the Pink Toe Tarantula. Stay tuned. There's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany Outdoors, there was Tiffany the farmer.
On U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, boo.
I went to Petco and bought this 5.5 gallon tank. Let me show you. And I am going to build it out like I did for the little mini 2-gallon tank. I'm going to build this out with the 3-sectional in the front. I'm going to have a piece of plexiglass here for holding the substrate, the middle section for the door, and then a small top section also for ventilation and for the hook and staple for the door. So let me go ahead and get started. This tank was assembled by Felicia. Thanks, Felicia. First step is to get this label off here. Yep, nice and easy. This tank is pretty dusty and stuff, so first thing I want to do is wipe it down, clean it off inside and out. Just using some plain dechlorinated water to wipe this down. Alright, that's good enough. Now I'm going to take some measurements. I want to put my plexiglass on top here and make one big piece that fits inside here perfectly. And then I'm going to cut my top and bottom sections. The top for the hook and staple, the middle for the door, the bottom to hold substrate. Alright, let's see if this fits. Haha, nice. I'm going to make measurements for the bottom and the top for the substrate, to hold the substrate, and for the top piece. And for this spider, the substrate doesn't have to be that deep, because for the most part, it's going to be up in the upper section of this. So this is my bottom because of that weird mark on this side. So this will be my bottom. Do 2¼ inches. 2¼ 1.5 for the top. Alright, top, middle, bottom. I want to start making my marks for the hole, so I have my template here, template that I use to mark all my holes, and I'm going to go ahead and find the center of this to mark for my closer. A little closer doohickey. Let's see, we're at 8 1/4, so that'll be 4 1/8. That'll be the center. Mark a little hole. I'll make a little mark there for my center for my little closing piece, and same at the bottom for the let's see, maybe I should put two hinges on this. So 8. So I'll put one here. 2, 4, and one at. I'm going to put one hinge at the 2-inch mark and one at the 6-inch mark, since this piece is going to be a little bit bigger than previous pieces. Now the only thing I don't have to worry about is making that drainage hole down here, because I won't be putting like a bunch of plants and things in here. Maybe I could. I am going to have some cork bark and maybe like some leaf litter and some rocks in the bottom, so no live plants, I don't think. Maybe I will put a live plant in here. Maybe one. Yes, I think I will put a live plant in here. But I won't have it that moist. I'm not going to have it super moist in there. I think, yeah, I'm not going to do a drainage thing on there. If I have to later on, I can always take this piece out and add that in or drill it in later on if it's absolutely necessary, but I don't think it will be. And I hope this substrate will be deep enough to support a plant. I have the perfect plant that I want to put in here. Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, got those situated, so let me extend these lines a little bit longer, make them long. They don't have to be exact or perfect, but I am going to go ahead and make them a little bit longer on all of them, because now what I'm going to do is cut these 2 pieces out. Oh, after I make my holes. Gotta make holes first. Got to make holes. I'm also going to add these little small 1-inch vents on there, so I'm going to put those somewhere in the middle-ish section. Doesn't have to be exact. So I'm going to draw a line here. And that's where I know where I'll drill holes for my little vent caps. And I have black and silver. I'm going to use the black ones on here to match the aquarium frame. So those will look pretty nice on there. And before I cut these, I'm going to go ahead and take this outside and melt my holes with the, melt the holes with this wood burning tool. There we go. I'm going very slowly and just letting the drill work its way through. Putting very, very little pressure on this because I don't want this to snap. Got my holes drilled for the vents here. Got my holes at the top melted in. Now it's time to separate the 3 pieces, the bottom, the middle, and the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back to you. And you guys have seen me do this before. I'm actually getting better and better at it. I've got all my pieces cut. Everything is as it, let's see. I've got all my pieces cut. Now all I need to do is take my rotary tool, and I'm going to shave one of these ends down a little bit because the tight is really, the fitting is really snug. It's a little too snug, so I'm going to take my rotary tool, grind down. I got a grinding stone on there, and I'm going to grind down both sides of these edges here, just so I have a little bit of play, so it's a little bit easy to open and close this door. Now I've got all my plastic off of this particular piece, so I've made my mark here, and I'm going to use my little hand drill to drill a hole for the hook and staple. Now to work on the background, I got some of this scrap styrofoam. It's, how thick is it? It's about 5/8 inch thick. And I got this at Lowe's. It was the scrap stuff sitting underneath a shelf, and I got 2 sheets of it, and it's probably about 4 feet long. So I measured the inside of the tank. It's at 7 and 7/8. So I made some marks down here, and now I'm going to cut this. To make short and quick work of this, I put on the cutting blade on the burning tool, and man, this stuff is like cutting through melted hot butter. I mean, it just goes through so easily. And I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do to this. We're going to do something to it to make it look good. There we go, that's better. Alright, so what I can do with this is I can burn like different designs in this, so it's not just flat. I'm just going to burn some lines in it. And this will also give the spider some stuff to hang on to. Make it like some vines or something. Alright, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be anything particular, whatever design you want to do. This next part's going to be really messy, so you're going to want to do this outside. I've got my caulk gun loaded with the silicone 1, all-purpose clear. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smear it all over here. In this bin, I have dry cocoa fiber and some repti bark. And I'm just going to pour it all on this, coat it, cover it, let it dry, and then I'm going to silicone it inside the enclosure. Plug here. Take at least one glove off, and I'm gonna just coat this with my mixture here. I may not even use it all. Then press it. Press it in there. I was kind of hoping that the maybe when we shake off the excess, we'll be able to see the design that we kind of engraved in there. I'll just press that in really good. Alright, I'm going to let this dry for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back, shake off the excess, and see what we got. Alright, so I'm going to dump off the excess here. That looks pretty good. Missed a spot. I'll put that on the bottom. This came out pretty good, although you can't see any of the designs that I burned into it, which I can vaguely make it out right here. Just vaguely. But that's okay. This looks good. I'm happy with the way it turned out. So now let's take this on the inside. Alright, so now I'm going to put some dots of silicone in here to put our background, to glue the background on. Alright, there we go. That's more than enough. That little white spot there that I missed, that's going to be at the bottom. And I'm just going to squish and push it up. There we go. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put on my pieces. Alright, I'm going to leave this sitting for about 30 minutes. And this is almost done.